remember a time not even that long ago when Oprah Winfrey was the only black billionaire in America. I mean, she might have been the only black billionaire in the entire world, but that's changed and black wealth is growing. And man, for an entrepreneur like me, for a money motivated hustler like me, well, that shit is pretty inspiring. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, they aren't the only people that's out here making billions. There are 16 black billionaires around the world today. Some of them you know, and most of them you probably don't. But today, well, today you're gonna know about all of them because I'm gonna tell you who they are and how they got rich. Now, of course, I can't give you 16 backstories in one video because frankly, that's just gonna take forever. So I'll rank them from the lowest net worth to the highest net worth, and for this video we'll start with the first 5. So if you like this video and you want to hear about the other black billionaires, then drop a like and a comment down below, which will let me know that you're feeling this kind of content and we can keep this little mini series going. All right, so let's get to our list. The first black billionaire on our list is none other than Tyler Perry, who is worth an estimated $1 billion. Now, personally, I'm not really that huge of a fan of Tyler Perry in terms of his movies, but I definitely respect his hustle. And I'm just at that age where I'm old enough to have witnessed the whole thing. And before you start getting on my head in the comments, I really don't have to be a Tyler Perry fan. Enough people are fans out there to make him a billionaire, and really that's all that matters. Tyler Perry, who was born Emmett Perry Jr., he grew up in poverty in New Orleans. And as a child, he dealt with physical and emotional abuse, and he learned to depend on writing in order to cope with some of that pain. And just a side note here, in my research on billionaires, I often find that many of those rags to riches stories, they have these like abusive beginnings. Even Elon Musk dealt with verbal abuse from his father. So in some cases, maybe pain inspires creativity and geniusness. Now, back in the early 90s, a young Tyler moved to Atlanta and he started writing out his first plays. He put together a team of actors, he worked a bunch of odd jobs, and he saved up $12,000 to produce his first play, which was called I Know I've Been Changed. And it was alright. I mean, it wasn't the smash hit that he probably expected. But like any great entrepreneur, he learned from that failure. And when he came out with his second play in 1999, which was called I Can Do Bad All By Myself, he introduced Medea, which was really just Tyler Perry taking on the personality of an old Southern woman who was a little bit humorous, a little bit violent, and a little familiar to almost every black family. And Medea was a hit. And the play was a hit too. Now, some would say that Tyler Perry actually stole the Medea character from someone else, but that's not what this video is about, so you can do your own research on that. Tyler Perry would follow up this play with several others throughout the early 2000s, like Medea's Family Reunion and Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Then he started producing movies, and as you know, almost all of them, especially the early ones, proved successful. Later on, he would produce several TV sitcoms like House of Pain, Meet the Browns, For Better or For Worse, and several others. Now, honestly, I knew Tyler Perry was gonna be a billionaire pretty much as soon as he bought those 300 acres of land in Georgia. And it was basically an old army base that sprawled across 330 acres. It had an airport terminal, a strip mall, 2 baseball fields, a golf course, a residential neighborhood, and an almost exact replica of the White House. And it was one of the biggest film studios in America, and also the only one that was created by a single financer. But there are hundreds of actors that do movies. So what is it that made him a billionaire? Well, he writes, produces, and creates all of his movies and his shows himself. And he does it on his own film set. His actors don't get quite as much money as most actors in movies that are as big as his, so he's able to film at a low cost. And then when that money comes rolling in, the profit margin is extremely high. So yeah, he's got this great formula, and he's able to replicate that success over and over using that exact same formula. Tied at the $1 billion mark with Tyler Perry is none other than LeBron James. And thinking about it, I'm also old enough to have witnessed him growing from a super talented high school kid to a world-known billionaire. Damn, this video is kind of making me realize that I'm pretty much old as shit at this point. Anyway, LeBron was born in Akron, Ohio, and it didn't take long before people started to take notice that he was extraordinarily talented in playing basketball. Before going pro, he led Akron's St. Vincent St. Mary's High School basketball team to 3 Ohio State championships. And he was named Ohio's Mr. Basketball 3 times. While in high school, he averaged 25.2 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 5 assists per game with a 36% success rate from the three-point line. And it wasn't that he was just silently running through all the competition. He became a star even before graduating high school. Now mind you, this was before Facebook, before YouTube, hell, it was probably before Google, and his name still got around. Now, I'm not an athlete or someone who follows sports teams, but my homeboy that lived next door, he was a basketball fanatic in high school, and he would constantly get his hands on these VHS tapes with high school baller highlights, and LeBron was always on them. So shout out to you, Rob, for putting me on. I wonder if he still has those tapes sitting around somewhere. But you know this part of the story. LeBron got drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers as the first overall pick in the 2003 NBA draft, and he immediately became this basketball sensation. His success on the court led to success off the court, as he quickly collected endorsements from major brands like Nike, Coca-Cola, and several others. All right, look, this isn't a sports channel, so you know how this goes. He played for Miami, he came back to Cleveland, and then he ended up as an LA Laker. And he made a shit ton of money doing it. His current deal with the Lakers is $99 million for 2 years, so he would be beyond rich just from that contract. But outside of basketball, he also has several other ventures that he's involved in. For example, he co-founded Spring Hill Media, which produced movies like House Party and the new Space Jam. He's also a venture capitalist. Back in 2011, he was an early investor in Blaze Pizza. And over the years, he's invested in other startups like Status Pro and Neutral. So yeah, whether you like him or not as an athlete, whether you think he's better or worse than Michael Jordan on the court, LeBron James is richer than you and I will probably ever be, so our opinion is probably a bit irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. The billionaire athlete didn't even exist a couple decades ago, but now there are several black billionaire athletes. And whether he considers himself black or Caucasian in 2023, Tiger Woods is melanated enough to make this list with a net worth of $1.1 billion. Now, I know old Tiger has had some controversy in the last couple of years, but I remember him coming into the golf scene and tearing shit up. Now, even though I was a caddy once, you really would never catch me watching golf back in '96. Or in 2023 for that matter. But back then, if Tiger was playing, then I was definitely tuning in. Tiger Woods had one of the most impressive amateur records in golf history, having won 6 USGA national championships before turning professional in late 1996. He won his first Masters tournament with a 12-stroke win in 1997. And at only 21 years old, he became the youngest and the first African American to earn the title of a Masters champion. Like most professional champions, all the brands came at Tiger Woods with all these different endorsement deals. But since golf attracts a different demographic than, say, the NBA, he secured endorsements from brands like Gatorade, Monster Energy, TaylorMade, Rolex, and of course Nike. The public viewed Tiger Woods as like this model of perfection or this model of excellence. But then there was that cheating scandal in 2009, which the public heavily judged him for. And he had some injuries too, which both of those things together kind of slowed his athletic career. However, even with the little smudge on his public image, he still manages to bring in a huge amount of money from numerous brands. Now, those endorsements made him super wealthy, but he's also an entrepreneur. In 2016, Tiger founded TGR, which is a parent company for all of his various brands and businesses. And under that TGR umbrella, he has a golf course design business, a live events production company, and a restaurant. Next up, we have Alex Karp, who is an entrepreneur with a net worth of $1.3 billion. Now, Alex was born in 1967 in St. Louis, and he showcased an extremely high IQ and a high intellect from a young age. He was, one of those genius kids who graduated at the top of the class and then got degrees from Stanford University and the University of Frankfurt. Anyways, Alex Karp co-founded this company called Palantir Technology, and he had a vision of revolutionizing data analysis and revolutionizing intelligence gathering. Palantir Company gained recognition for its data analytics platforms, and it served government agencies and organizations who handle large-scale data. Throughout the 2010s, Palantir diversified its products to serve new markets beyond governments, so industries like finance, healthcare, and even cybersecurity. Alex's company continued driving all of these new innovations in data analysis, machine learning, and artificial intelligence across a wide range of sectors. And then just in 2020, Palantir went public, and it was hyped as one of the most anticipated tech IPOs of the year. As a result, Alex Karp's net worth went bananas, pretty much launching him into the billionaire status. So basically, he revolutionized an industry, he went public with his company, and he got ridiculously rich. Coming in at number 12 on our list, we have Michael Lee Chin. He was born in a rural area in Port Antonio, Jamaica. He grew up in a small town in poverty, but through his experience, he learned the values of hard work and the values of being resourceful. And these lessons will form the foundation of the success that he would experience later on in life. In 1970, at the age of 18, Michael moved to Canada to attend McMaster University, which is in Hamilton, Ontario. And after graduating, he climbed up the corporate ladder working for various financial institutions. And over time, he became a finance expert with notable success. But he still wasn't like rich yet. In 1987, Mr. Lee Chin acquired AIC Limited, which at the time was this struggling investment firm. And using his experience and his brilliance, and by providing strategic direction to the firm, he transformed the company and made it profitable again. And then throughout the 90s, he led AIC to some big time success. And soon the company had billions of dollars in its assets under management. And then he established Portland Holdings, which is an investment company that manages a diverse portfolio of businesses, including those in financial services, tourism, and telecommunications, among others. Back in 2009, he sold AIC Limited, which of course boosted his net worth significantly. However, he officially joined the Black Billionaires Club in the early 2020s, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Black wealth is growing, and I know for sure that we're gonna see more and more black billionaires in the near future. From athletes to entrepreneurs to tech gurus, the list is getting longer and longer. And there's still 11 other black billionaires that we haven't discussed yet, up to the number 1 spot, which is a melanated individual with a net worth of $14.2 billion. So if you want to hear about the rest of them, again, hit me with a like or a comment or something, and I'll follow this up with the part 2. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and keep doing amazing shit.